Okay, welcome back. This is Lieutenant Wargaming 57. Today I'm going to be covering the second tech chart of my Axis 1940 Pacific house rules. Although this does pertain to the Europe side too. So, at first, I have got last. Let's do this. I-400 subs. So, see unit stats. So let's see if I can find those. I-400. Got it. Okay. So, they attack at 4, defend at 4, move 2 with nuclear power 3, cost all of that, and they carry 1 fighter or tactical bomber. Only 1. And that's it. That's the entirety of the Axis 100 subs. I like them. Super heavy bombers. This is way different than heavy bombers. So they roll 3d6 on bombing raids, and 8 dice for carpet bombing on 3 lower. Instead of a 2 or lower, it's 3 or lower this time. And you get that on an 8. And you must have heavy bombers to get this. Must. Heavy tanks, see unit stats. So I already showed you the unit stats in the last video, but I will show you again. Heavy tanks. Yeah. Heavy tanks. They attack at 8. They defend at 7. They move 2 and can blitz. These are Tiger tanks we're talking about. Cost 8, and they have 1 damage before they're destroyed. So that means you turn them on your side, or you put one of my cardboard chips underneath them to show that they're damaged. And then after that, if they take another hit, they're destroyed. At the end of the round, at the end of the entire, after everyone's gone, then they flip back up to being undamaged. Then we've got target select. I'm calling this target select because I don't know what else to call it. I can't call it rockets because I already showed you V2 rockets for the Germans. So this one is must have jet aircraft and target select on a 2 for fighters and tactical bombers. So I'm saying that this is like an advanced sight inside the cockpit or something for the machine guns. Then you've got super heavy aircraft carriers, see unit stats. Now these are really cool. I like these a lot. So, super heavy aircraft carriers attack at 2, so really awful. They defend at 5, slightly better. And then they move 2 with nuclear power, 3 as usual, cost, all of that. And they carry 3 aircraft, so they can carry 3 tactical bombers, 3 fighters, 2 fighters, any combination of the 3. Or they can carry 1 bomber and 1 other plane. 1 tactical bomber, not 1 tactical, 1 strategic bomber and 1 other plane. So that can be a tactical bomber or fighter. They can't carry 2 fighters and a strategic bomber. They can only carry 1 other aircraft and a bomber. Or just a bomber. So that's a really good thing about super heavy aircraft carriers. Then we've got genetically enhanced super soldiers, basically Captain America, and see unit stats. Okay, I found it. Super soldiers attack at 6, defend at 7, move 2, can blitz, and cost 16, but they can be built in 1 turn. So they're very expensive, but they're really good at what they do. Next one is 2nd gen jet fighters, and you must have jet aircraft to get this. 2nd gen jet fighters attack with 2 dice at 8, and you select the better, and the cost is 12. So this only pertains to fighters. They cost 12, and they roll 2 dice on an 8. Then we've got angled flight decks. When the fighters and the carrier, they will have first strike on the first round of combat. So that means if a carrier is attacked, then and it has fighters on board, then those fighters will get first strike in the first round of combat if they're attacked, which is pretty cool because fighters are really good at defense. Superintending the massive tanks. They attack with 2d12 at 9, and they defend at 2d12 at 3, plus 3 AA shots at 2, up to 3, so that if there's 5 aircraft, then only 3 get to be shot at. Move 1, and they cost 16 and take 3 turns to build. Then we've got heavy transports. See unit stats. The only difference with heavy transports, they still can't attack and they can't defend, but they can carry 4 units, and only one of these has to be infantry. So they could carry 3 tanks and 1 infantry. So that's really, really good to get. Improved airbase can take 5 damage, 10 damage max, and gets +2 range for aircraft. So your aircraft can move 4. With this, they can move 6. Which might be really overpowered. I'd love to hear what you think in the comments. Improved naval base. Takes 5 damage, 10 damage max, and +2 range for ships. Also might be really overpowered. Veteran infantry. Veteran infantry attack at 5, defend at 5, and move 1, and cost 0. The reason they cost 0 is after each battle an infantry was involved in, roll a d12 for each infantry unit left. On an 11 or a 12, the unit can become veteran. Now this only happens to attacking infantry, so when you move in with, say, 10 infantry, 5 of them die, you roll 5d12, and on an 11 or 12, one of those, or maybe even all of them if you were lucky enough, then they would become veteran. So again, they attack at 5 and defend at 5 and move 1. Okay? Next is flying aircraft carriers, also C units, which, good thing I was open to that page. They attack at 8, they defend at 2, they move 16, not 16, they move 6, they cost 12, and they carry 1 fighter. Does not count toward the fighter's movement, which means the bomber can move 6, and then the fighter can move 4 more, and it doesn't count for the fighter's movement, because in actual life they weren't flying alongside the bomber, they were literally on the bomber, so it was the bomber's fuel that they were using up. So technically they could go 10 spaces in 1 turn, which also might be overpowered, but I like it. So the Russians actually start with this tech. They already start with this at the beginning of the war because they had old bombers and they were using those during the war. They ran, I think, 15 missions before, and not a single fighter was shot down or bomber. So that's that. So Germany has stage 1 of Superintending the massive tanks. The US and Japan both have stage 1 of super heavy aircraft carriers, and Japan has stage 2 of I-400 subs. So that's what I have done with that. So those are the numbers for getting each of these techs. So 8, 7, 7, 9, 9. Yeah, for genetically enhanced super soldiers. Okay. See you later.